Hey there, how are you? Marla Rutz here, coming to you from my office, and I have a child down there mowing the lawn, so that can't be a bad thing, but excuse the noise. I'll keep the window somewhat open and somewhat closed here. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about today is offense. This has been a hot topic lately. I have had some young girls that have had some offense going on in their lives. I've heard other women talking about offense, and I personally have had some things. One situation that I can think of right now that has gone on in the last month or so. And I just wanted to touch on a few quick points today, and hopefully that this will be helpful to at least one person out there. That's always my goal. If it helps one person, then time well spent. Offense is going to happen everywhere. I remember a woman that I love so much, a mentor of mine said, offenses are like peach pits. They're bound to happen. They're inevitable. They're going to be there. It's how we handle it that matters. I woke up this morning and I just had this feeling of unease. I don't know if it was a dream or what it was, but I think a lot of it had to do with this situation that happened a while back. But then I started putting it all together with the things that the young girls were talking about recently and the other women, and I realized that it's just a common thread that runs through our communities and our worlds and our friendships and our families. So what do we do about it? Well, I was genuinely in a snarly mood. I said, well, I'm going to try to mind shift this. I'm going to go for a walk, take my dog for a walk. My dog kept biting the leash. I was like, stop it. You know, in those moments, you can't find the simple joy around you because you're caught up in your own head. I went for a walk. I decided to listen to a church service of a local church here. And I did that with a bad attitude too, because I was like, no, I'm offended. I'm not doing it. You know, as I've said before, this page is not necessarily Christian. It's not technically a Christian page, but I find a lot of inspiration comes to me from a lot of different resources, and I love sharing them. I share them from different books or whatever it is. But today's inspiration came from a church service and from the Bible, and I want to share those with you because, you know, we can have problems or situations in our life and we can focus on that, but if we can find the answers or the inspiration on how to mind shift away from that, that's where the joy comes and the peace comes. And I'm all about finding more peace in my life, and I am certainly all about helping others find more peace in their life. So one of the situations was just, the situation for me in my life was just things being taken out of context, being thrown in a bucket that I wasn't necessarily in, but you're just kind of associated, and it's out of context, so it's not even, may not even be accurate, and you might find yourself in situations like that. So what the pastor was talking about, and the timing was absolutely divine, because I had been listening to a church service yesterday, and today was the continuation, and I said, that doesn't speak to me. I'm going to go on, move on to another, and this is exactly where I was supposed to be. So what he said was that I loved is this, because if you say to yourself, well, what if people start talking about me? What if people take me or my life out of context and they start, that's a mindset of fear, and it's easy to get caught up in that, because why? We as individuals like to be in control of our own life, of our own reputation, of everything around us. And what if we can't control that? Well, we can't. The question isn't if we can't. The fact is we can't. So this is what he said. He said, reputation is what others think of you. Character is what God knows about you. And I was like, that is fabulous. I love that, because I often coach with this. I share this with my kids. I share this with a lot of people, that the way out of a mindset of fearing that you did something wrong, or you have offended somebody, or oh my gosh, I didn't mean it to sound like that, or whatever situation you're in, it can be taken out of context. Can you pass the pillow test at the end of the day? Can we lay our head on the pillow at the end of the day and say, okay, I know I was wrong and I need to take accountability, or I can genuinely, with the intentions of my heart being to seek the truth and to distill the truth out of this, I can genuinely say, I did not deserve that offense. I saw a meme yesterday that said, when you're wrong, take accountability. And when you're right, be quiet. I love that. So if we're wrong, we take accountability and we right that wrong, and we state what we did, and we address it. But if we are not, the risk that we run is that it will get in your head, it will change your mindset, it will make us angry, it will put us in a position where we feel like we have to prove ourselves, which we don't have to prove ourselves. If we're wrong, we fix it. If we're not wrong, we don't need to go and be on the defense of everybody, because that's the trap that we fall into, is when we get that anger built up. We want to go and and this is the second point I wanted to get to. My mind was just going like, I want to call this person and set it straight. And the little girls, the young women that I was working with felt the same way. They wanted to right all the wrongs. And the women that I was talking, hey guys, I'm on a live video. I'll be out in a minute. Life goes on even when you're trying to do your thing. They probably are telling me that the lawnmower is out of gas, but we'll get to that in a minute. We want to right all of the wrongs, and we can't do that. And that makes us feel vulnerable because we don't feel like we are in control. So what do we do when we want to go and right the wrongs and pick up the phone, and then pick up the phone and tell the person off, or pick up the phone and talk to another friend that wasn't even involved in the situation, and go on and on? You know, one of the things I shared with some young women lately is the concept of cancer in the stream and power in numbers. So if these young women, they're feeling a certain way, like they've been wronged, or this person doesn't see my point of view, and then they start telling all their friends around them, and they're like, yeah. Nobody really even knows the true context of the situation. That is just building power in numbers, and you're always going to feel right when you have power in numbers. But you have to take a step back and say, what involvement did I have in that? And then the other concept is cancer in the stream, where toxins in the stream, where it's kind of like whisper down the lane, where one person gives their opinion of something, and they say something, and then we are susceptible to it being whatever the truth is that's whispered down the lane. The story looks a lot different. You ever played that game Telephone? It looks a lot different when the story is ended. So that was all on my heart today, and I came home, I laid on my floor, and I said, I'm not doing any work until I feel peace about this. Talk to God, and I flipped open my Bible, and like I said, with this page, it is not, you don't have to be a Christian to be here. I just speak truths from whatever resource I find it, a book, whatever research I'm doing. And today's inspiration happened to come from the Bible, and I loved it. It was from 1 Peter, 1 Peter 3:15, and the headline was "Suffering for Doing Good." And that can obviously sound like, I'm not saying that in a martyr way, like, oh, I'm trying to do good and I've been offended. But when we are doing good and we say, why should we even bother doing good anymore? This is what it had to say. If we are offended, do not repay evil with evil. That's what we want to do sometimes. Get on the phone and say, or tell the person off, or handle it. I am a firm believer, especially in my coaching practice and what I do, and might get this wrong sometimes, but I am a believer, and there is nothing wrong with speaking truth, but speaking truth in love. And if we can't speak truth in love, then we hold on and wait until, I make sure I wait until I can speak from a place of love. And I was just about to use the expression, hold the phone, because it's that whisper down the lane. The second feeling I had today is I wanted to call a friend that wasn't even involved, or was involved, didn't know of the situation, and just go off and talk about the person. And I knew that wasn't my heart. That's not what I want to do. The friend is aware of the situation, but I don't even want to mention names, because that isn't the intention of my heart. Even though the person offends, the person that offended me, you want to make your heart feel better by talking it out and proving to your own self. That's what it says here. Don't repay evil with evil. On the contrary, repay evil with a blessing. And I know that's a hard one to wrap our head around, but for me, I know I only have an audience of one, and that changed my life. Because in this world, we can go around, people don't know us. They don't know who we are. And we can go around trying to, prove who we are to the world, who our heart is, what our intentions of our heart are. We don't have to do that. It also said, whoever loves life and sees good days has to keep their tongue from evil and their lips from deceit. which would be picking up the phone and going, you know what, I'm going to tell you something. And that's not going to do anything but make you feel better in the meantime. But the intention of our heart, where does that get us? So I just hope that this is encouraging for whoever this is supposed to, whoever's supposed to meet up with this video and listen to all 10 minutes of it. I always try to keep these brief, but you know, I always go around the longer route to express these things. But I really hope that this helps, because the idea for me and my mission is to help myself, other women, even men, find peace. And it's these little things that get in and crawl under the surface of our skin, crawl into our soul, and that's what trips us, and that's what keeps us from shining light. That's what keeps us from doing, can keep us from doing the work that we're called to do. It can keep us from just feeling peace with and acting in peace with people that are all around us. I hope that this was helpful. If I can ever be of assistance or walk alongside of you in a situation that you're having trouble maneuvering, just can't seem to maneuver it on your own, and you need somebody to talk it out with, because I guarantee you, the people that I work with, they have the answers. Girl, where's the answer? Where is my steamer? I just noticed. They have the answers. It's just a matter of me helping them clear their mind, find the answers, and present a couple of perspectives they may not have seen before, but to really get help them see the intentions of their heart and what they already know, to get that out. So you can always contact me at marlo@marlorutz.com. I hope this has been helpful, and I will see you next time I have a burst of inspiration to share with y'all. I hope you're having a great day.